We're back for another round of action here with the TGS Anniversary Month featuring Hearthstone, celebrating the second anniversary of the gaming stadium. We have now we saw some really interesting matchups featuring some crazy mage decks and some crazy shenanigans that happen around there. Now, of course, with buys being handed out, we are now on to the next round, which is round number 3 of this tournament sway. And, we got to see what some more value-focused decks had in things like that Druid and those mage decks. And now we're going to shift things around a little bit. This next matchup going to feature a little bit of speed.
Yeah, it looks like we're looking at some pretty aggressive lineups here. We have Face Hunter, Weapon Rogue, and Aggro Shaman coming from TINCHO, and then Face Hunter, Miracle Rogue, and Death Rattle Demon Hunter coming from CARVALHO. And it looks like Token Druid was banned, as well as a Rush Warrior.
Yeah, so yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Both of which, both Token Druid and Rush Warrior looking really juicy with this expansion. But we haven't seen... Face Hunter's been doing really well as well. And this different take on the Rogue between the Weapon Rogue and the Miracle Rogue, both are valid. I'm feeling like the Miracle Rogue is a little bit stronger, but we don't have enough gameplay to really validate that.
Yeah, that weapon rogue, with all of the buffs that you can put onto that weapon, like it's really great, and so it's really great in a lot of different matchups. But it can also struggle with some others. Meanwhile, that miracle rogue just seems like it's kind of a little bit of an even split across all of your matchups. In the right hands, that deck can just do a lot of damage. And speaking of doing a lot of damage, these two face hunters you would think face hunter, yeah, it's the same thing over and over again. A lot of differences between these two players in the lineups they chose for those hunter decks.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what does a little bit better here between these two. I hope that it's a mirror match, both bringing very, very different things. There's a few similarities, but across the board, they're aimed very differently, which, as you mentioned, Face Hunter, not necessarily just a Face Hunter.
Absolutely, yeah. We have some stuff on the side of TINCHO with things like, Barak Kotobane, the Rinling's Rifle is in there as well. Meanwhile, on the side of CARVALHO, he's, sitting there with Shondo Wildclaw, doing some pieces, like really kind of going with a beast synergy with their deck. It's kind of like just rolling with, it's a Face Hunter, it's like Face Beast Hunter is kind of what they're rolling with here. So a lot of interesting pieces that I think will happen as we get ready to jump in here to the game in just a little bit. Before we do jump into that game, we also have a couple of shout outs that we want to make, including our sponsor, Sway Kanto.
Yeah, Kanto, looking for the final piece for your work from home or gaming setup? Find everything you need to build the best workstation or battle station at KantoLiving.com. Check out their monitor mounts, speakers, and stands today.
Absolutely. And I might have to stand up here as we get ready for what might be a super quick matchup with all of this aggression that's happening out here right now. But already you got to see like how kind of the different types of decks that we might see in this tournament. And already we're kind of seeing some really fun stuff happen as we jump into the game right now, as we see this aggro shaman go up against the face hunter. So TINCHO looking at that nice opening spot here, a nice opening hand for CARVALHO as well.
Yeah, it looks like TINCHO not doing that mull yet. Interested to see what he's going to keep from this.
Well, you got to think about it. I mean, we're probably tossing those 5-cost pieces right there. Landslide could be really good in an aggressive deck. You get the sense that, yes, this is an aggro versus aggro matchup. But if we're thinking about the fact that TINCHO is they're going second against a very aggressive deck. So maybe you hold on to this Lightning Bolt and this Landslide. You need to be the control deck, even though you're an aggro shaman.
Absolutely. And CARVALHO starting with that Tusk Piercer. Really great turn one.
Pretty solid here in the mulligan here from TINCHO, getting a nice curve out there as well. So both sides are really going to be able to do something in terms of like going 1 into 2 into 3. Another novice coming out.
Yes. Looks like that's going to drop here.
Question is, which one? Or perhaps both? Yeah, you like the side of CARVALHO. You can go 1 into 2 into 3. Of course, you don't really want to see that big 7 drop into your hand just yet, but that's okay as you're sitting there with. Of course, I was thinking regular hunter. This is a demon hunter, obviously, with the death rattle synergies that go down there. But CARVALHO is going to be able to kind of do some fun pieces here early. Raise board now comes down. It's going to be able to summon some death rattles if it wants to, and now a Doomhammer into the hand for TINCHO.
And overloaded, so the only option here is either that novice or going ahead to coin out one of our 2 drops. And it looks like we might be overloading ourselves one more time on TINCHO.
I like this move. So taking the aggressive line early, going to start just punching face. Now you want your opponent to have to react to you. That's exactly what Tincho does. And looking at Carvalho, they're going to see the next move that they want to play. Of course, that Fate Rattler could be a good move here, but they need to be able to deal with the fact that not only are these 3/2s, but they also have some spell damage to them as well.
Mm-hmm. And into the hand comes a Death Rattle minion.
Fel Rattler comes down. It's going to be able to do a good amount of damage, clear off the board of the Shaman, and bounce a 3/2 out of the board as well. A nice turn from Carvalho, as now Tincho decides what they want to do. And drawing 2 Doom Hammers means that you're going to have a good amount of damage the longer this game goes on.
Out comes the Renowned Performer with that rush, that Death Rattle, and being able to hit face for 3.
Rockbiter Weapon, a nice thing to have as well. We might see a coin into Doomhammer here and just start pushing face and say, hey, maybe we have to do ourselves a little bit of a race. And if this is the race we want to do, Tincho thinks that they can win that race, even though the board is on the side of the Demon Hunter.
Correct. Pushing face for 4. And Carvalho right away with some 6 damage to face. Felsteel Executioner becoming that weapon, getting corrupted. So much damage right off the bat there.
So much damage, and now we have to look at what's going to be available to Tincho here. Might not be much. Dunk Tank now into the hand. They might not. They have to really weigh like how much damage am I allowed to do right now, because they're going to be taking a whole lot of damage from the side of Carvalho, and well, we have to see. They kind of have to weigh their options right here. They could. We could punch for 10, take your opponent down to 13, hope you find a lightning bolt and some more damage from hand if you want to. There's just not a lot left to them, so they might maybe have to clear off both of these minions, take themselves down even further, 6 damage that way. It's a tough spot for Tincho right here.
Right, because this could theoretically be the end here for Tincho. This next turn could define everything and just end the game right there.
Weighing options, trying to see what they can do here in round number 3 between these two fantastic competitors, both Tincho and Carvalho. They both really play their decks insanely well. And now we get to try and see if there is some way in which they can come out and, yep, they've weighed their option. They said the only way I can see myself getting out of this is just trying to outrace my opponent in some way.
Yes. Which unfortunately for Tincho, Carvalho has the board presence as well, which Tincho just does not. But also, thankfully, not allowing Carvalho to get those rush minions out and just crush whatever board presence they may get.
Down to 3 goes Tincho here in game number 1.
Tempoing out that performer.
More performers right there. Ugh. You could just sense with that Diligent Note Taker, if you had something like a Lightning Bolt or some other piece, maybe if you had Diligent Note Taker into the Rockbiter Weapon, so you could add even more pieces on there as well, and it just didn't work out for him here.
Nope.
No taunt minion.
Turn 6.
Taunt. Turn 6. That's what you get when sometimes you get a little bit more aggressive decks that come out there. And even though the Death Rattle Demon Hunter isn't necessarily the most aggressive deck you could ever find, it still got a victory here in turn number 6. And so now really one of the slower decks in this matchup has now gotten that victory against more aggressive spots there. And so now we kind of saw how that aggro Shaman it just seemed kind of clunky. Their draws, they drew a lot of 5-cost pieces. It wasn't what they really wanted. They kind of want to be a little bit lower to the ground there, Sway.
Yeah, it came down to top deck. Like, that Demon Hunter really started with some amazing, started with the weapon, started with the Razor Boar, like really just started well across the board, and the Shaman unfortunately did not.
So if you're sitting on the side of Tincho, sitting there going, okay, well, my aggro Shaman didn't get a good spot there. I still have my Weapon Rogue, which it looks like we're going to see right here as well. We know that we're a very aggressive spot. We're going to go up against a Hunter and a Miracle Rogue. Is this the pick you want to play? Knowing the 2 decks that were left on your opponent's side, switching things up, going with a Weapon Rogue, thinking that this maybe has a better shot against the Face Hunter and the Miracle Rogue?
I think that honestly, Tincho just wanted to take a little bit more of an aggressive approach.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. Of course, we'll get things switched up and fixed up, just like we did right there, because we have an awesome production team. And we see an early tracking here from Carvalho's Face Hunter. And, Cult Neophyte, that can definitely throw a wrench into a Miracle Rogue's plans in one way or another. I like that move, getting the War Song, because that will give you at least an opportunity. I mean, every time we find a War Song, we're just looking for that Trampling Rhino. So that's a good move right there.
Right. This deck looking really aggressive from TINCHO right now. Choosing to go ahead and Sinister Strike on turn 1.
In an early Cult Neophyte, just to throw a wrench into everything TINCHO kind of maybe wanted to do right there.
Which would be Coin Weapon, unfortunately.
Yeah. But at the same point, it's not necessarily like, oh, we're going to throw a wrench into everything. It's still like, let's face it, I'm a face hunter. I'm going to tempo out a 3-2 and make you answer it.
Sure. And also, that was just the perfect turn to get a Neophyte on. CARVALHO just loading up the board right now.
Nice play. Going wide on board. Make your opponent have something else that they can do. And this is a weapon rogue, so the weapons are aplenty. And we see the tempo plays starting to happen on the side of the prize. Plunder taking out the 3-2. And a good move here by TINCHO, but still the pressure is going to be mounting.
Absolutely. Just some little 1/1s. No biggie. And, the Wrangler comes out. Getting the Wrangler on that Tinger.
Really nice move right there. That's just that's a really good play of the fact that you can just start buffing things up left and right. The Silverleaf Poison is going to come down and hopefully find some answers on the side of TINCHO. But early on, there was one thing that this deck might not have at the present moment is a little bit of life gain because the pressure is mounting. And while card draw is nice, you need to live to see how much value you can get out of that card draw.
Yeah, it really looks like CARVALHO is just getting that top deck again. Look at that hand just loaded right now. And it looks like more Wolpertingers.
Boy, these Wolpertingers, they are adorable, but under the right circumstances, they're just going to punish you left and right. And wow, this might be an even quicker game than we saw. This last one went to round number 6. Oh, there's Prep. Prep's going to maybe swindle again.
Those are some feisty Wolpertingers. There's so much damage on that board right now to answer to.
But you can give your hero stealth until the next turn to maybe find something else here.
Options.
Well, we drop the cloak to give ourselves stealth. We maybe swindle one more time and then throw the cloak down to draw as much answers as we possibly can.
Yeah. I mean, while the swindle's online, might as well play it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, let's face it, there's a reason why TINCHO has a golden celebration card back right there. They probably know exactly what they're doing to give themselves the best opportunity to live. And at the very least, you've blanked the hunter for just a little longer.
Right, absolutely.
So we're going to weave in a hero power. We're going to discover a spell for ourselves. We're going to see what else we can put down here.
CARVALHO board locked right now, but I mean, not a terrible board to be locked on.
Paralytic Poison, let's count up the damage that we might have here. I don't think there's 20 damage that we can pull off with this.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there is either.
So there's the secret passage. We'll see what else that they can pull out here. We can maybe find another round of Cloak of Shadows, which, speak of the devil, just comes right back in so they can stay alive just a little bit longer. You'd really wish you could play Wandmaker and the Cloak at the same time, but that's just not in the cards right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, just not enough mana there.
So we do know you're going to be able to deal a good amount of spell damage. There's a Sinister Strike. There's a couple of 4 damage pieces in there as well. You're going to be able to get one more weapon hit down there. Shant's going to find a couple more Coerces, which is good. Wandmaker happens. We're going to then be able to prep into the Cloak. And a Sinister Strike as well. All right, let's look at this. So see what TINCHO's going to do. They still have shut out this hunter. They now will put all of their hand back in their deck, and we have a bunch of those Wicked Stabs. We have some Sinister Strikes. There's a lot of pieces here where they might be able to sneak out a win here.
Yeah. Their weapon is at, what is that, 5 attack now? 3 attack.
Sitting at 3 attack, and here comes, we're going to lock and load and see what happens from here. Don't feed the animals. Gonna give things 2/2.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, the Savannah Highmane is down there as well. Boy, the one card that they wanted to find, I think, was the ability to deal 6 damage to a minion and have the overload go into your opponent. You could have done that along with the hero power and pulled off the victory, but instead, we now see TINCHO with the Wicked Stabs. They're going to deal 4. Here comes 8. Here comes another 3 on top of that, and here comes exact lethal.
Exact lethal. Oh my gosh, Tincho pulling it out. That was insane.
Wow, masterfully done on the side of Tincho right there. I mean, we were sitting there the entire time going, there's no way, right? There's no way. This is a face hunter against a rogue that needs time to build up things that they want to do. Even on a weapon rogue, like that's not going to happen. And Tincho was able to play to their outs, find the ways in which they can give themselves stealth. They blanked the hunter for 2 straight turns and then mounted enough damage so they could get exactly like that sway. That was really impressive by Tincho.
I am blown away right now. Like, my whole face is just, my jaw is on the floor. My goodness, that was masterfully played. And those cloaks came at such opportune times. Those wicked stabs, oh my gosh, the whole setup for that to happen was phenomenal. And oh my goodness, the whole Wolpertinger board, I am in shock right now.
Yeah, outstanding gameplay from both of these competitors right there, which we expect nothing less in a Hearthstone tournament brought on by the Gaming Stadium. So now we're going to be able to sit down here, go right into the next match, which we see, hey, guess what? More Wolpertingers, more imprisoned Felmaws, and we get to see the other side of the rogue with CARVALHO right here as well.
Yeah, that Miracle Rogue coming out now.
10
we love keeping that Felmaw for turn 1. Pointing out that Felmaw feels fantastic.
Yeah, we might see something like that. We do a little Felmaw to Felmaw action. We could also see them just putting down a 1-drop as well that we might be able to buff on turn 2. We'll see what they want to do here.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to play this hand from Tincho.
Arcane Shot now into the hand as well. So this might be an imprisoned Felmaw turn 1 into imprisoned Felmaw turn 2, giving you some options here on turn 3 as well. Cult Neophyte into the hand of CARVALHO. They might just have to play that out for tempo anyway. Intrepid Initiate is what's going to happen. I like this move. Get yourself a 3-2 and a big wide board.
Yes, absolutely. Give the rogue something to answer to, which they're not going to be able to this turn. Did get that Aug Merchant.
Yeah,
the Neophyte coming out.
Yeah, you could sit there. Well, you could go with the Aug Merchant into a 1-1. Into another piece if you wanted to. I think this might just be a Cult Neophyte turn. That's all you can do right there. But still not a terrible play, but still going to be a lot of pressure coming from Tincho right here.
Definitely. Not wanting to waste all those resources on just clearing some small 1-1s. Totally understandable. Now comes the Felmaw. Now is it all going to go face? It should.
Me trade? Me trade? No, me go face.
Yep, face. Face is the place.
And now we see what CARVALHO can do right here. No secret patches. Wand Thief is a nice play right here. You're going to be able to do 1 damage to a minion, play down as well the Wand Thief, and now your Prize Plunder is going to take out this 3-2. A nice little turn of events here for CARVALHO.
CARVALHO gaining that board back pretty quickly.
And now you have a nice wide board so that this Felmaw is probably going to attack not face. And we see an adorable infestation come down, but nothing really to target it. And now the Arcane Shot's going to take out a 3-1. And at least we are going to have some developing pressure right here, but we're already kind of out of gas.
Right. Now it's just a matter of time.
Mankirk says, hey man, I'm going to be hitting you in the face right now. And down to 25 is Tincho as the imprisoned Felmaw opens up, hits down a 2-1. Gives itself a little 5-2 right there. Big pickup right here if we wanted to. That piercing shot. Going to be able to deal with another minion, but that Pack Hunter, I like this move. You're going to get the piercing shot, deal a bunch of damage to your opponent's face, hold on to that Pack Runner so that you can maybe do an adorable infestation into something else as well.
Proxy Fraud into Swindle. Really great turn there for CARVALHO.
Kind of like the iconic rogue thing to do with the Forge and the Baron set right there. It's like, name a more iconic duo.
Absolutely, just the perfect pair.
Nice
keeping
plays by
everything
here.
On board.
Yep, keeping things on board, still keeping your board wide against that Felmaw, which I think is a good move as well. So now they're going to weapon up and start pushing face. Let's see what they do right here. They might actually bounce the Tinker, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to bounce it back, and they're going to hope that you can keep Mankirk alive by giving it Divine Shield and maybe blank the 5-4. Actually, that's not what they're going to do right here. Wait a minute. Shouldn't that have gotten
Yeah, I feel like that
Divine Shield?
should have happened.
Perhaps it was just a visual bug?
Perhaps.
Perhaps NA caster is low. We don't know. That interaction doesn't work. I am not certain.
And a caster's lull. That was strange.
What's not strange, though, is getting some value off of Wound Prey. So you're going to be generating some Rush minions into some more Rush minions. We're going to have an adorable infestation, make more pieces off of that, get more Rush minions from there.
And just like that, Tincho's got an answer.
Got an answer, but also out of gas.
Correct. Now literally just playing from draw.
So you hold back these 1/1s. You probably do. There's not a big reason to trade. You make your opponent trade.
Do you pick off one of the 3/2s, or do you just give it a second? That pack leader is going to die.
Yeah, one way or another, that we got to imagine that pack leader is going to die. We might see Jandis Barov come out here. And let's see if there's see if there's any taunts that we gather from this one. And there's one.
A taunt and a divine shield. Wow.
And you can probably give that divine shield the damage restriction on there too. So that 5/5, it's basically like you just have a normal 5/5 now.
Right.
Trampling Rhino, a nice pickup, but might not be enough.
I'm not sure that it will be. It's because I feel like the selected minion. I think this taunt's gonna. Yeah.
5/4 into the 4/5 makes a little bit of sense. Maybe you want to keep the Trampling Rhino alive. It makes sense. To me, you maybe want to go Trampling Rhino into Jandis and then just weave in as many hero powers and damage as you possibly can.
Yeah, but also being able to pick off that 5/5 would be nice as well.
And picking off the 5/5 is nice. I do wonder if it's, kind of what we saw in that game with the aggro shaman, if it's worth it at all to trade, or just maybe put all of your eggs into one basket and say just try to end the game as quick as possible.
Sure. Tincho really considering options here.
Mm-hmm.
Going face with as many things as possible is really ideal, but
you also wonder, do they want to try and figure out a way to weave in a hero power instead of playing this 5/5? Knock this out. No,
out comes the Rhino.
That's what they want to do. So the Rhino's going to take out Jandis, going to deal an extra 3 damage to face, taking down CARVALHO down to 8. And more things that need to be answered on the side of CARVALHO.
And a really opportune brain freeze draw there. Leaving just a little 1/1 baby on the board.
Now the race begins. We have to see there again, of course, because of rotation. We don't have to worry about something like a kill command, but still control as much as you can. Rinling's rifle.
Perfect pull there. Explosive trap would really answer a lot of things.
And now you've put your opponent on a 2-turn clock. Freezing trap is right there. Open the cages, back tactics. Nothing needed right there, but of course, Tincho sitting back, acting like there's actually a choice to be made here.
Right, this is not.
We don't
snap
opportune. Pick, right? We don't snap pick at this point. We kind of tell our opponent, no, I'm holding back. I'm trying to think of something else. Freezing trap, not a bad play right here.
Not a bad play, but considering what's on the board currently, it's not the best play.
True. I think I like the freezing trap because at the very least it's going to prevent
that amount of damage.
Yeah, it's going to prevent that damage, and you know that you have your opponent on a 2-turn clock. You know that you're going to deal hero power to face. Your opponent goes to 4. You win the very next turn.
Right.
Piece goes in. Secret is chosen. Hero power tapped. And now we see what's going to happen on the side of CARVALHO. Punches down. Continuing to do a whole bunch of damage. Mankirk puts their opponent to 7. We're going to see Swindle draw a spell.
Oh my goodness.
Mankirk's wife. That's going to put some damage down there, but it's still probably not going to be enough. Oh, look, off the top. It is the Wicked Stab. Unbelievable pull. 2-turn clock. Doesn't matter. Rogue going to find a way to survive, and that is exactly what we just saw there from CARVALHO. The Swindle finding Mankirk's wife that did 3 damage into the Wicked Stab. Like, it was exactly that play out. That was absolutely insane, Sway.
The luck of that. Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
I mean, wow. I mean, we've now seen the last 2 games between these 2 competitors. This is shaping up to be one of my kind of crazy, awesome, insane matches that I've seen in a while between these 2 folks. I don't know who. I want them both to win on this spot between these 2
Literally, my jaw on the floor consistently. My goodness.
A turn of events, to be sure. And look at this. These competitors, hats off to them. Like I would need a second. Give me a moment after that match. But no, these two folks, they're saying we're jumping right back into things, and now it's going to be this
adrenaline.
The adrenaline is still pumping from that one.
Carvalho hoping to just close it out here, take those 3 wins. TINCHO fighting, bringing back that rogue,
fighting and staying alive, and now that rogue going to try and do what it can.
Carvalho really thinking about this mulligan here.
Mm-hmm. But I have a question.
Yes.
Have we seen this match already? Like this is the weapon rogue that we saw pull off a victory against a hunter. Do we maybe have a miscue here? That's a question I might have.
I'm thinking about it, and no, wait.
No, I might have gone insane. I might have gone crazy. No, of course. I think TINCHO is on a different type of rogue as well, as we see Carvalho.
Yeah, I don't think we saw this particular matchup. Because we saw the weapon rogue not win. Oh,
yes, no, I was correct.
Okay, it was a miscue.
We saw a miscue right there. We'll take care of things and make sure that everything happens there. We'll have to check on to make sure everything's fine there as TINCHO kind of gets themselves figured out on that one. Is like I could have sworn it's like, no, TINCHO was on that weapon rogue for a second. I was like, hold on. Hold on.
Groundhog's Day?
Yeah, I was having it's like, call me crazy, but I feel like I've seen this one. I mean, that was a great match, and I would put it on a greatest hits. We want to relive that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think we might have to see a re-queue happen after that one, after we saw an incorrect queuing on the side of TINCHO. But incorrect queuing aside, that might have been the biggest misplay between these two fantastic competitors, because we've seen some really awesome stuff anywhere, and now we're back into it with a Hunter mirror match.
There we go. Now we're back.
Intrepid Initiate, quick shot, piercing shot. You always want to keep that Initiate, see what else we can find. Cold Dark Pack Runner's not too bad, but we do want to find some spells to enhance that as well. Let's look at Carvalho now. Dire Frenzy, Trampling Rhino, don't really want those in your opening hand. Venomous Scorpid, do we keep the tracking?
I mean, tracking is always a good option, especially since the other 2 cards are not discarded anymore.
I completely agree. So there's the Intrepid Initiate coming out right off the bat. Arcane Shot is pretty good as well. We might see this tracking happen unless we figure out a better turn 1 play. We could see Coin Colt. Yeah, Coin Colt seems like a good move here.
Coin Colt, out it goes.
Now, you don't necessarily want to trade with that. Of course, Arcane Shot, even with the extra tax, is still going to be able to take care of a minion on the hunter side. And this is kind of the dance of the face hunter that we see right here. Trying to control board where you can, trying to swing things and maintain your resources in a way in which you can outrace your opponent.
Right. And that Arcane kind of made sense, honestly, because the other only mana efficient option was Hero Power, and that really would not have done what we wanted it to do, especially with that with the Spell Burst not active yet. And look what the second Cult does here. That it really does throw a wrench into the plans of TINCHO, because they really wanted to go Pack Runner into tracking. Instead, they're gonna throw that Pack Runner out there and push face and say, hey, you got to trade that 3/2 into my 2/3, unless you can find some way out of that. Maybe we find a quick shot option. And tracking into a True Aim Crescent. Selective Breeder now comes down, going to discover a copy of a beast. Now the Wolpertinger is sitting down there, and then we will probably see the Warsong Wrangler. If you're doing Warsong Wrangler, are you doing more Wolpertingers that way? Yeah, I mean, discovering the copy of the Tinger, that looks like the option there. Now having 3 Tingers in deck. And out comes the Wrangler for TINCHO. Trampling Rhino, Wolpertinger, which is the way to go. I think the Wolpertinger buffs, that way you can just flood the board with a bunch of minions as well. Sure, but Trampling Rhino also would have an answer in terms of just doing more attack to face every turn. That's true. Do we want to race? Do we want to win the board? What is the pick right here? That's the question I have for chat right now. The pick is the Rhino. The Rhino. I like that move because there's a 1/1 on your opponent's side. You're going to be able to Rhino and hit and deal a lot of damage, and they're winning the race right now. Right, that's going to be a great turn for them. And I have a feeling that Carvalho is going to go ahead and pull that Wrangler and then go ahead and get that Tinger online. Let's
see what they want to do here. You definitely need to manage this properly because Tincho can deal. You need to almost trade this 1/1 off so it doesn't run into a trampling rhino. Warsong Wrangler comes down. Gonna
Trading
go
the 1/1.
Gonna do the Wolpertinger dance. Another trampling rhino.
Both rhinos in the game, in the hand.
And just like that, Tincho saying, tick tock, I'm going to be killing you very next turn. So kind of a bad spot here for Carvalho. They have to figure out a way out of these things. Don't feed the animals comes down. Going to give all beasts in hand +1/+1. Whole bunch of Wolpertingers and a quick shot taking out that 7/3. Nice moves all around, but I do see that we can summon a random demon companion, maybe buff our trampling rhino from there. We're going to punch face, do 6 damage right there. We're going to steady shot for another 2. And then out comes the knife vendor for the lethal.
There it is.
Ties things up at 2 here between Carvalho and Tincho. Just an absolute fantastic series by both of these players.
There's the tie. And we were wondering how those hunters, we wanted to see them face each other, and we were wondering how they were going to do against each other. So that kind of gave us our answer, didn't it?
Yeah, really outstanding job by both those players. You could tell that like Tincho was setting up multiple ways in which they could gain lethal, right? They were putting this down. They were going to place their minions in such a way they're going to deal a nice amount of damage that Tincho can basically just like seems like at a moment's notice know that they can do 2-turn lethal by any stretch of the imagination that they have. This has been a fantastic series by these two players.
Yes, absolutely. Tincho's really sitting back doing that math. We saw that in that amazing rogue game and just phenomenal gameplay from both players.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we kind of look between these two players of how they're going to manage it. And this is also a testament, I think, to what it takes to really play aggressive decks properly. There's always that joke, right? You just play aggressive decks and it's just click the button. It's kind of mindless, that kind of thing. This has really been kind of a dance of the wits between these two players. It's really been fantastic.
Absolutely. Face is not always the place, and these players are showing us that.
And so now let's see what this matchup's going to have between the Shaman, it looks like, we're going to have Shaman up against the Face Hunter. It's going to be an interesting matchup here as we try to find what these players are going to do to take down this round 3 matchup. So, of course, Aggro Shaman on the side of Tincho.
Doomhammer in hand with the coin. Tincho looking great with that weapon, and Carvalho also getting that Trium Crescent.
Absolutely. So the Crescent early out for Carvalho. Novice Zapper is going to be a nice turn 1 play if they want it.
And it looks like that's their option, otherwise coining out a 2-drop, which doesn't feel great right now.
Yeah, but you can coin it out on the next turn even though you're overloaded. Tame Beast going to summon a 2/2 with Rush, take out that 3/2. It's a nice move.
Old Neophyte also looking pretty spicy.
Tincho biding their time now. Boy, you get the sense that these players really know their decks well. They know their opponent's decks very well. It's just really quick plays. No nonsense.
Absolutely.
Just play things out one by one by one.
Which is phenomenal considering the mini set literally came out, 2 days ago? Here comes the Warsong Commander.
Buffing up those buffing up those Wolpers.
Those Tingers, Carvalho and those Wolpertingers.
Those Wolpertingers are doing a Wolpin.
Options here. Are we going to coin out that weapon for Tincho?
It might be if Face is the place and we want to race. Let's see.
That was a great rhyme.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I've had my caffeine.
We see really thoughtful plays coming from Tincho, taking quite some time using that rope, letting it burn.
So there's our coin, just like you said.
Yep, out comes Doomhammer.
They thought about doing the trade.
Right. But just pressing Face.
Pressure is on now. We can kind of see what might happen after this. Don't feed the animals going to give a lot of buffs to a lot of other pieces, and the Wolpertingers continuing to be a force to be reckoned with. So how much can we do with a landslide right here?
I don't know. This is looking a little scary for TINCHO.
We're going to do Novice, drop that thing down. The Landslide's going to be able to, I think, do a full clear here. We're going to do 2 and then do 2 again. Fantastic play, right, TINCHO?
Lovely. And now CARVALHO just playing out of hand. We got a quick shot. We got another weapon, which we still have 3 damage, or we still have 3 uses of our weapon right now.
Tracking, not a bad card to pull off the top of your deck.
Absolutely. That was a great tracking.
Tame Beast going to find a 4-4 with Rush. Still win the board on that side. Not bad either. Weave in a hero power and still, again, putting the pressure on your opponent.
CARVALHO just relentlessly pressing face. And just replacing that Trireme Crescent as well.
There's a Dunk Tank now into the hand for TINCHO, so they really have to be mindful of their life total here, because even though only 1 card is in hand, you're going to draw 1 off the top, you're going to weave a hero power, the quick shot can draw a card as well. They are not safe by any stretch of the imagination.
Absolutely not.
Gotta think about what they want to do here. They don't have any easy ways to get rid of this 4-1.
Right.
They're going to be able to still spend 3 mana. Not maybe the best way you want to spend 3 mana, but still going to be able to buff up and do a bunch of damage to your opponent's face. And again, the race is on. Both players down under 10. Let's see what comes off the top for CARVALHO.
Okay.
Not
Not
bad.
great.
Shendo Wildclaw is going to transform into a copy of a friendly beast. Quick shot comes down. Deal 3 damage and draw a card. Cult Neophyte down there as well. Don't need to play it because you still want to push some damage. Well played indeed. Dunk Tank going to finish this off. TINCHO is going to pull off this victory 3-2 over CARVALHO.
What? Oh my gosh, what well-played games.
Absolutely fantastic between those players. Like, just fantastic job between both of them. TINCHO really setting themselves up. We saw the kind of the back and forth between those 2 players, thinking about what we need to do. Finding it's very interesting to me, Sway, that when you find like, yes, I need to win the board here, or for the most part just saying I need to race, because you just have to trust what's in your deck that you're going to find what you need to win.
Absolutely. And we're seeing this is what I was hoping for with the decks that were being brought from Wailing Caverns just coming out 2 days ago. Like, we're seeing a wide variety of decks. This matchup was so different than the first matchup we were able to see. I'm so impressed by all the players' skill levels and just the phenomenal builds that they've been able to bring.
Absolutely. And we'll get a chance to kind of jump into another match here in round number 3. This time it's going to be between Bobby X and Taco Cat. It's going to be the other spots there. Taco Cat rolling with a Menagerie Paladin, Spell Mage, a Big Druid. Meanwhile,